This used to be a complete mess of wires, but it barely worked. So I decided to turn this mess into a proper PCB at home. I started with the schematic. Since I'm making this at home, I'm limited to a single layer board. Everything in blue will be etched. The red trace will be added later as jumper wires. Then I switch back to the copper layer. Check that everything is correct, and if everything correct, send it to print. For transfer toner into the plate, I need a specific paper called transfer paper for PCB design. And of course, I forgot to mirror it. And then I print it again, but mirror it, it's very important. You can actually reuse transfer paper multiple times. It's not perfect, but it saves money. Before I transfer the toner, the copper board must be completely clean. After washing the board, don't touch the copper side anymore. I also need to polish it for a better toner transfer. Because of copper oxidation, if the copper shines, you are good to go. Now it's time to heat up the iron. I set it to the maximum temperature. Before pressing it down, I make sure I'm aligning to correct layout, because of my mistake. Likely the paper is slightly transparent, which makes alignment much easier. Then I apply heat and pressure to transfer the toner into the copper side. And here it is! As expected, the transfer isn't perfect. Some traces didn't stick properly. But that is not a problem. I use a PCB marking to fix the missing parts. At this stage I double check to transfer the correct layout and that is properly mirrored. Because once it goes into the etching solution, there's no way back. I carefully retrieve the imperfect traces and hope everything survives the etching process. Before putting it into the solution, I cut the board down to size, that way I don't waste chemicals on unused copper. Now is the time for sodium persulfate bath. After some time in the solution, this is what we get. Once it's etched, I remove the toner and the marker using acetone. And underneath, clean copper traces. This is always a satisfying moment. Now the board needs holes. Drilling is also strangely satisfying. Especially when everything lines up perfectly. To protect the copper from oxidation, I tin the traces with solder. Flux can also help by soldering. And now it's finally time to assemble everything. After soldering everything together, it didn't work. I assume that ILI9341 was the master, because the pins were labeled Mosi and Miso. But I completely ignored the small SDI and SDO. I is for input, O is for output. This mistake costs me a few traces. So I had to cut the traces and reroute them with jumper wires. And this is exactly why prototyping matters.